Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and we're back with another truck. And yes, it is black. I don't know why I keep getting big black vehicles lately, but this is actually a present from a son to his father as a Christmas present. This vehicle is a 2017 Ford F-150. This is a truck that the owner has been wanting all of his life, and we're finally ready to put a protective coating on it. But it's been a few years since this vehicle has had a good polish, any sort of long-term protection applied to it. So we need to do a really good wash. We're going to do a chemical decon as well as a clay towel treatment. Now, I've done my process on this in numerous videos over the last couple years, so we're not going to necessarily rehash, but here's our before condition. You can see we've got a lot of swirls and scratches, faded paint. We're going to go ahead and do a good wash, chemical decon, clay towel treatment, and then we're going to come back in and get this prepped for our coating. So we're getting this F-150 ready for ceramic coating, and we've already washed it. We did a clay towel treatment, but there was actually, it felt like overspray. It was that gritty when I did my clay towel treatment. So we're actually coming in, we're using our Purist clay lube spray, and then we are also using their clay bar. And we're just gonna do a quick clay bar treatment. Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly is a clay bar? What does it do? Well, your vehicle is gonna have bonded contaminants on the paint. And a lot of times they're not going to come off with just soap and water in your mitt alone. You're going to actually need to do a clay bar treatment to remove those bonded contaminants. They could be rail dust, tar, bug droppings, etc. But regardless of what it is, it can be bonded to the point that you're not going to be able to remove it unless you use some sort of abrasive. And you can actually see we're picking up some tar on this clay bar. And if we hadn't done this, even when we come in and polish, it may not remove the bonded contaminants, and then you could potentially be ceramic coating over that. And then your ceramic coating is not going to really bond with the paint because now you've got, you know, this contaminant that's kind of in the way. And what's left behind now is a completely silky smooth surface. Glossy paint comes from flat paint. Flat paint comes from completely decontaminated. So you can do a couple different ways. You can do your clay bar treatment, your clay towel treatment. Clay bar is probably the safest because you're not going to be as aggressive. And obviously when you're using a proper lubricant like this, you're going to definitely help prevent swirls and scratches as much as possible. But regardless of what method you use, before you do any sort of ceramic coating, you want to at minimum do a chemical decontamination and a clay bar treatment or clay towel treatment to remove those bonded contaminants. So that way your ceramic coating has a lot better chance of bonding with the paint and giving you maximum durability. It's not difficult, it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of elbow grease, but when you have the right tools, it makes it effortless. These two products work really well in conjunction with one another, and they smell really nice as well. And you'll know it's done its job. If you run your clay bar over the panel, it's gonna be smooth. It's gonna actually be kind of quiet. If you hear grit, if you feel grit, then you want to just continue to spray, go over that panel until you have a silent and smooth surface. So again, it's pulling up a good bit of contamination that was still on this vehicle even after we did our clay towel treatment. So now our paint is silky smooth. We can come in, do our polish step, panel prep, and get this ready for a ceramic coating. So for those of you that are wanting to keep your vehicle's paint in really good condition, this is going to help prevent rust from building up. You want to do this, I would say, at least once a year. Some vehicles, they might even require twice a year if you live in a city or an area where there's just a lot of construction, maybe tar, etc. But basically, panel by panel, take your clay bar. You want to knead it to a fresh side. Spray it down with your clay lubricant. You don't need to scrub. You're just basically gently going over the surface until it's smooth, and then you're good to go. We only needed a half of a bar to do our clay bar treatment, so we're going to put the rest in with a little squirt of clay lubricant just to keep it from drying out, and we're ready to move on to our paint polishing stage. Now you can see we've got a lot of issues going on with this paint, and I thought it was just going to be an easy process, but I was very wrong on that. I always test out with kind of a Rupes yellow foam pad, Griot's Garage correcting cream. That's normally my go-to when it comes to a one-step, especially on Ford paint. Normally it's not difficult, but this vehicle did not want to cooperate with me. Typically on medium paint, that's not going to be overly aggressive. You can see this is our before condition. We have severe swirls and scratches, at least that's how I would categorize it. We also have some water spotting issues. After just doing a quick one step, we have about 50% reduction of swirls and scratches. We have greatly enhanced gloss and shine, but we do have some holograms or ghosting that we're going to need to do a quick follow-up with a white foam polishing pad and a finishing polish. I'll probably try out either Optimum Hyper Polish or the Meguiars 37, their spray correcting polish. I have found both of those work really well on just kind of giving nice clear paint, no haze, no holograms, no ghosting. So we're gonna do a quick pass with that and then see where we land as far as for our test spot. Hopefully I have no problem doing a quick second step like that. It's literally one or two very quick passes with a white foam polishing pad. But again, I'm not wanting to be super aggressive with this paint. This product is not going to be as aggressive as some. I could use something like a Koshikemi H901. I could use the Detail Annex Platinum Polish. I could use even Angel Wax Regenerate or Resurrection. All are going to remove a lot of the defects that are on this paint, but they're probably not going to finish down really well. We're definitely going to have to do a second step of some sort. But if I were to dial it back on correction to try to finish down, we're still going to see a good bit of the swirls and scratches. I feel like this is a good landing point as far as correction. So we're gonna try that second final polish and see what kind of clarity we have. So we used our Meguiars 37, their spray correcting polish, and we also tested the Optimum Hyper Polish. Both finished down really well on this paint. So here's our before. You can see we don't have really good gloss, clarity, reflection because of the amount of swirls and scratches that are on this paint. And then over here, it's almost like looking in a mirror. Now, mind you, there are some still deeper defects, which is fine. The customer, I think most customers actually don't even see this. This is normally a detailer is the only person that's gonna really notice this. Most customers, all they're gonna really see is shiny and glossy paint, and that's what we've been able to give them. We don't have any sort of holograms left behind. Now, where I had the tape residue, I wasn't really coming close with my pad, so we might have a little bit of that here, and we'll kind of button that up when we go over the left side of the vehicle or the left side of the panel, so that way we don't have that pad ghosting. But that was able to remove the hologram, really nice gloss, reflection, no hazing. All in all, really happy with that end result. It's another day. Yesterday we washed, we did our chemical decon, clay towel, and then a second clay bar treatment. Yesterday we started polishing. We've gotten one panel polished, and I think we figured out the combination that we need to do. I just had to say it. There I go jinxing myself. You ever just have one of those vehicles that no matter what you do, it just doesn't want to finish down properly? I'm working on this Ford F-150. It's a 2017 black. It's actually got like a navy blue or blue metallic flake to it. I didn't know it until I polished it. You can actually now see the metallic flake to it, and it's turning out really good, but there's a lot of swirls and scratches that's going on with this paint. Let me kind of show you guys real quick the before and kind of what's been going on. It's become a pain in my butt, but let me just kind of show you guys what's going on. So sometimes you run into this issue with paint correction, especially on paint that is finicky. It's going to have micro marring, and that's all those little tick marks or little lines all around the reflection of light. Yes, there are those deeper scratches, but anything more aggressive than an orange foam pad on this vehicle is leaving behind micro marring. It's not finishing down properly enough, but I have to keep the budget down for this customer, and this is where it's getting difficult. We worked with the Griot's Garage correcting cream. We even tried Shine Supply Flat Top, but we're actually switching gears over to the Last Cut compounding glaze. This has a touch more
correction, but I think it's finishing down a little bit better than some of those other products. But we're still going to have to come in after doing about 2 or 3 quick passes with our yellow foam pad, and we're going to have to use a product to help remove the micro marring, remove hazing, and to finish down well. This is where I've really been enjoying the product from Shine Supply. It is actually their Classic Finish Plus. This actually is a product specifically designed for finicky paint. You're going to do about 2 quick passes, leave that residue on, and you can see I actually didn't wipe off the residue from my compounding glaze. I left it on there. It's going to cut down on some of the work that I have to do, but it didn't affect this product's performance. We did 2 quick passes, left the residue on. We wipe off that residue, and what's left behind is nicer correction, but a really nice finish on this paint that was being super difficult. So here's our end result after using these 2 products on this vehicle. Now, I know it's not paint perfection, but we were still able to get really nice results quickly for this customer doing 2 passes of both of these products. Because we had to go a little bit extra on our paint correction stage, and because we were working with a limited budget, we ended up putting on the Meguiars hybrid paint coating. Customer was beyond happy with the end result, and really that is what it's all about. But I wanted to share with you, for those of you that maybe you are working on a vehicle that's similar, or maybe you are wanting to get more into paint correction, to have a more realistic understanding that not every vehicle is going to work out the way you might anticipate. You're going to have those vehicles that have difficult paint sometimes. They may not finish down properly well enough. And so hopefully these products, these tips, these recommendations can make this process a little bit less stressful and a little bit more enjoyable for you. Just understand that not every vehicle is the first pad, the first product going to work out the way you anticipate. But having realistic expectations and understanding how to kind of work around some of these issues that might present themselves when it comes to paint correction is really going to help give you better results, but also more realistic expectations to be able to communicate that clearly with your customer. But at the end of the day, we were able to clearly communicate those issues with the customer, understanding the budget and what they were looking for, and be able to still give them a result that they were very happy with. So make sure you guys subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you enjoy content like this. But thank you guys for watching. We've got a lot of great content coming out for you guys in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for those videos. We're going to put the links to all the products that we use down below. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the very next detail.